Ow! I think I landed on something hard. Where? Where am I? Oh, this ain't my hangar. Man, how am I supposed to do Gunpla reviews now? Huh? Oh, well, guess that answers that. Welcome back to Gunpla Geek. This time with a review on the high-grade After Colony 1144th scale OZ06MS Leo from Mobile Report Gundam Wing. This build is rather unique, with the kit coming on a measly set of 3 runners. You would think this build would be, simple, yet surprisingly all the parts on the runners are very well placed with a good amount of spruce hopping, making this a perfect model kit for army building and can even be an alternative starter kit. My other complaint about it, though, is that it's, I kind of wish there was a little more accessories with it, but we'll get to that when we get to it. My other complaint, though, is just how tiny the parts are. Seriously, I thought the gun cannon parts were small, but this one's really smaller than my fingernail. Like, jeez. The looks, on the other hand, dang, the model looks really good. Though it seems they slimmed it down slightly compared to the more chunky proportions in the anime. At least the colors match. I'm also a big fan of the big, militaristic look they're going for this design. Boxy head, round shoulders, it gives it a real drone-like appearance, which, in hindsight, is probably what the designer was going for, seeing as future machines based on this in the lore would become AI drones, such as the Virgo and the Virgos too. Although, I still can't really get behind the handlebars. Like, seriously, what are those even used for? What's that handlebar on the chest for? Like, what on earth? Getting off track here. Accessories include a 90mm machine gun, a shield for the shoulder, with 2 beam sabers stored inside, and 2 beam saber effect parts. Like I said, this loadout is light. The gun easily goes into the hand like so, no fuss at all there. The beam sabers are stored on the shield with a super tight grip once in place. You're definitely going to want to trim down the peg before putting the beam sabers inside the shield hilt, or use a tool to get it out. Otherwise, the beam saber looks good in the hand with those effect parts. And then there's the shield. This thing was an absolute pain to get on right out of the box. Enough time though, it'll look good. Should also mention there is a 3mm hole in the back meant for add-on kits, which are sadly only premium Bandai. So, oh well, at least there's some room to get creative with it.
For articulation for this kit, it's going to be a little bit complicated. Not because of how, complicated the joints are, more like how simplistic it is. So starting from the head down as per usual, there is no articulation, or technically there is, but not really a lot at all. Even though in the anime it is shown that the head can turn and actually swivel. Kind of like one of those Roblox characters, honestly. But it's because that there's only that ball and socket joint there, right at the neck, and there's a gap where the chin part goes. And because of that chin part, it's kind of just locked in there, so yay. Next is the shoulder plate does move, and that does go for the shield as well. And the shield has a ball and socket just like the neck does, and you can angle it or swivel it back and forth just like so. Arms can also bend at the elbow just like usual, but only on a single bend, and there goes the arm. We'll worry about that later. Then you can also swivel at the bicep there, and then wrist rotation as well. By the way, only set of holding hands in here, as I might have mentioned already. The chest can rotate around just like so, or kind of flex back and forth, all on a ball joint. Same thing on this second half here, and then a peg into the waist itself to hold it all together. Simple ball joints on the side skirts here, but not a lot of movement at all, if any. Back skirt, totally paralyzed. Front skirt can then move like this. Also very difficult to do because it's such a tiny part. And the instructions do say to split it apart. Legs can move back this far, which is not bad, but not great either. And then you can kick forward like that, so you can get a pretty good kick there. And a double bend at the knees, like this, with a nice separated elbow, knee part there, I should say, knee armor. And full back up. And the Achilles heel of this kit is the ankle, funnily enough. Because it's supposed to come on this ball socket, which basically all the joints on this are mostly just ball sockets or hinges. And then there's a little ball socket there to hold that ankle armor. And it's supposed to pivot back and forth, but it can't really do much because of the design of the foot and the ankle armor. So it's kind of stuck like that. So don't even bother trying to get at least, you can probably get a pivot like that. And that's probably the best you're going to get. And that's the articulation.
This thing is tiny. Like, here it is next to the high-grade Zaku, the Yakushiki, and the one, the only, the O! Which makes this thing even look smaller. Like, how? Oh my gosh. Overall, this kit is pretty hard to rate. On the one hand, it looks great. Right out of the box, this model is animation accurate besides some minor thinning on the proportions. Accessories are light but solid, for the most part. And the build was smooth, easy, and perfect for beginners. Though the articulation does rely on ball joints and some C-clipping, making the kit feel a bit loose and limited with its range. Its biggest saving grace, though, is its price. Back when this thing was first released, this thing could be as cheap as $12 US. Now, the price ranges from 14 to 18, which honestly is now a bit too steep for this kit. You should definitely wait for a sale on this guy if you find it, and buy him in bulk. We need to make sure he has friends. Lots of friends. Maybe too many friends to keep. But honestly, he shouldn't be alone. Never should be alone. So, I'm gonna give this guy a final score of 6.9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day, and don't forget to check out my links down below, and head to my YouTube page to see my Instagram link and the Great to Be Geek site. Adios!